Hey, what's up guys? It's Carolina here, and today I'm making one of those videos that I never thought I would have to make, but I mean, not never. I guess I didn't think I would be making it this soon, but first of all, I'm coming back. It's been a roller coaster of a year, and first of all, it was really hard getting a video editor, but I finally found someone who is helping me, and I'm very grateful for that. But the main purpose of this video is not to catch up on that, is to share the journey that I went through with my family battling my mom's cancer. And yeah, it's hard to make this video and not get all choked up, but my mom passed away on August 17th, 2019. So about 9 days ago, as of today. And I'm trying to make this video in one take, unedited. So she got diagnosed back in, what was it? May 2012. May of 2012. And when she got diagnosed, it was of course a huge blow, huge punch in the face for all of us as a family. But we stuck together, and one of the first things that I did was go on Google and do some research. And thanks to that, I found several alternative, complementary, non-toxic therapies, however you want to call them, natural therapies, whatever name you want to give them. And my mom was always a very healthy, even until the last month. Like, it was only the last, I guess the last 2 months of her life that her health like declined very quickly, even though it kind of started a year ago, but I'll get to that in a bit. I don't want to make this video too long, but I want to share a lot of it with you because I want to share some lessons with you, not just about fighting cancer, but also about sticking together as a family through hard times. So, what was I saying again? Yeah, so non-toxic therapies. I was able to help my mom, and I'm gonna list a lot of resources below this video because even though my mom ended up passing away, she didn't completely heal. She was able to have a normal, healthy quality of life for the past 7 years. It was only the last few months that her health declined. And it wasn't just because of something that wasn't working. She was tired. And she would say it every day, you know, towards the end. Why is this happening to me? I don't want to live anymore. I want to die. So I think when somebody loses the will to live, it becomes really hard to help them. And that's what happened with my mom towards the end. And we respected her decision and just supported her and made sure that she didn't have to be in a lot of pain, which thankfully the last few days she wasn't anymore. Anyway, back to the beginning. She was always a very healthy person. She would never even catch a cold, like always super healthy. Anyway, she got diagnosed. She started on chemo, but in parallel to the chemo, and also this is really important. At the very beginning, I found a lot of information about, hey, chemo is the worst, chemo is gonna kill you. Like, that's the first thing that you're gonna find. But in some cases, it will work really well with the non-toxic therapies, and that was the case for my mom. She never really stopped the chemo completely and only go with the natural way, but she kept doing her chemo and take the supplements and make the lifestyle and diet changes. And all of that combined, and even the doctors agreed, extended her life, not in a bad way where she was, you know, where we were like artificially extending her life, but we gave her a very good quality of life. She had liver cancer, and so the tumor was only focused in her liver. It was not metastasized, it was not anywhere else, it was not giving her any symptoms. She actually discovered her tumor like almost by accident. It was a routine checkup. And when they discovered it, it was about 9 to 10 centimeters big. So, I don't know, kind of like this maybe. And if you know anything about the liver, you know it's a very big organ, it's a very strong organ, it can take a lot of pressure. So even having that tumor there, the liver continued to have a normal function. The problem though was it was inoperable because it was attached to a very important artery, I forgot the name now, and an important vein as well, or something where if you touched it, she would, you know, bleed to death. So nobody would touch it. And so with the first rounds of chemo, they were able to shrink the tumor from 10 centimeters to about 4.5. And that's when she also started with the non-toxic therapy, supplements, diet, and all of that stuff. And even the chemo, like if you ask anyone that has had chemo, they will tell you about the side effects. Being nauseous, having to be in bed maybe for a couple days, throwing up, losing weight. My mom did not lose weight until the last year she had the disease, and that was because it spread to the, I forget the English name, but I think it's the peritoneum, you know, this bag that holds your organs. You know, all of our organs are not just lying there, they're being held together by this bag, for lack of a better word, membrane, I don't know what you want to call it, the peritoneum, I hope I said it right. So it spread there. And what happens when it spreads there, it starts building up fluids, which is called, it's a condition called ascites. I think that's the pronunciation. And so she started growing a little belly of fluid. And that made her lose weight because that belly, I mean, she looked like a pregnant lady. And that belly was pushing her organs in her stomach, of course, and that's when she started losing appetite and losing weight, and then it started to, you know, decay. But before that, completely healthy person. And the doctors couldn't understand. Like, they were like, how? What are you taking? And she told them. She would tell them, like, very proudly, oh, my daughter gets me these supplements from abroad, because I actually had to import all the supplements, or, you know, as you guys know, I travel a lot, so whenever I would travel, I would make sure I would get the supplements shipped to whatever hotel I was staying, or to friends' houses and stuff like that. And so I did that for 7 years. And I attribute a lot of the success, the relative success rate that my mom's cancer had, to those supplements and diet. So, like I said, I'm going to list the resources here down below in the video. And the other important thing, besides the diet and the supplements, that helped my mom survive this much longer, because when she was diagnosed in 2012, they didn't tell her to her face, but they told my dad that, first of all, there was only like 50-50 chance that the chemo would work at all, and like 15% chance that it would shrink, or that, you know, something good would happen. And that usually when people have a tumor like that on their liver, they don't make it past 8 months to a year, being, you know, as big as it was. It was stage 4 already. It was not metastasized, but it was really big. So they thought she was gonna make it like 8 months. They were wrong. And I'm glad they were, because I got to have my mom here for an additional 7 years. And so every time I get sad, I think about that. I think about how she would have been gone the first year if I hadn't done anything. So I'm grateful for that. I wrote a very long Facebook post the next day after she passed away, where I said, hey, I'm not gonna say F cancer. Most people would say F cancer, you know, for taking away their loved ones. In my case, even though it's a horrible man-made disease, it's for us as a family and for me as a person, made me, you know, brought me closer to my parents. I'm sorry about the noise. There's somebody like hammering something outside. I don't know. I'm sorry about that. It brought us together as a family, and also it taught me a lot about health, because all the stuff I learned that I was able to help her with, all of that stuff helped me, helped other people too. Like there are many people that I recommended all this stuff to as well. Man, that's annoying. I'm sorry. I said I'm not gonna edit this video, so anyway. So yeah, it taught us a lot, and it was a good thing that we got a little closer as a family. I'm gonna share something with you that I don't share ever online. I think very few people know, like only people that really know me know about this, but I had a sister. I had an older sister, and well, it's getting worse now. All right, I stopped. I had an older sister, and she committed suicide in 1994 when I was 10. She was 17. So we attribute my mom's cancer to that event, amongst other things that our family went through that I'm not going to detail here, but it's not my first experience losing a loved one, like a really close loved one. And so my mom was never ever, and I don't think any mother would ever get over the death of a child, especially suicide. But she was never able to really cope with it. And even when she told the doctors about that, like she lost her daughter, they would say, okay, no wonder you have this tumor now. So to all the people that think that cancer is only genetic, only about 3% of cases, and I've done my research, only about 3% of cases are genetic. Most of them are either caused by lifestyle choices and diet choices, and of course traumatic, stressful events that may have happened in your life. And sometimes it's a combination of everything. My mom had pretty much all of them, because her father had cancer, a different one, pancreatic cancer, but that's how he died. So there is a genetic factor, but there's also the events, the losing her daughter, my sister dying. So anyway, that also helped me, you know, that particular event at such a young age, my sister committing suicide, shaped me as well as a person. Not in a way that it traumatized me, but it made me appreciate life even more, if I can say so. I made a promise to my sister. I was only 10, but I promised her I would make her proud, you know, that I would not give up on life, and that I would take care of my parents. I still have a brother, though. I have an older brother. I was the tiniest one. I was the third out of 3 children. So I guess that's mostly what I wanted to share with you. It's on one hand why you've seen a lot less of me this year, because the last 12 months when my mom started to get worse, then she bounced back. She was doing really well for about 6-7 months, and then she quickly started to decline, and then she got tired and gave up, and that's when she passed away. But that's also why I haven't been very active on here or online in general, I guess, business-wise, social media and stuff, because I wanted to spend more time with my mom and my dad, but also I just couldn't focus so much on business. And there are people who are able to do it right away, like, you know what, they go through something difficult, they lose a loved one, or somebody really close to them gets sick, and they keep working because work is their way of coping with it. Work is what keeps them sane. And for some time that was the case for me, until finally it was like, I need to slow down. I went through a lot of things as well in 2018 that I've mentioned in other videos. I'm not going to mention them now, mostly in my business. And all of that stuff, of course, started to accumulate, and then my mom got worse, and then there's only so much we can take as human beings. And that doesn't mean that I'm giving up on my work, or that I'm giving up on everything that I have accomplished. Some of my accomplishments are right here. And I look at that plate right there, and I think about all the stuff I've been able to do. And that's a great reminder for me to just go back into things again and just keep fighting and show you guys something you can relate to if you've been going through some hardships. So, yeah, that's what I wanted to share with you in a nutshell. I'm sorry about this video turning out a little longer than I wanted it to be. Sorry, the camera stopped. If you're new here, you may want to go check out a few of my other videos. But I want to leave you with this. Be content knowing that you've done everything that you could. I know I did everything I could do to save my mom, because I did. God knows I did. She knows I did. And it didn't work out in the end the way we wanted. But she lived a good life. Not as long as we would have wanted. She was in her 70s. I know, my grandma passed away last year. She was 98. My other grandma passed away a few years ago. My mom's mom, she passed away in 2005 when she was 87. So I always thought, hey, my mom, she's probably at least gonna make it to 80. It didn't happen that way, but I did everything I could. We fought the battle together. And I think the most important thing is that she's no longer in pain. So if you're struggling with cancer right now, or any other deadly terminal disease, first of all, calm down. If you or somebody you love has just been diagnosed, it's not the end of the world. It felt like the end of the world 7 years ago. Then I did my research, and my mom responded really well to the treatment. The tumor was always kept under control. She was on and off chemo. Whenever it would grow a little bit, it would do chemo again. It would shrink a bit, grow, shrink, grow, shrink. My dad is always saying, hey, why did we stop? Like, why didn't we just shrink it all the way down? Those were some really toxic drugs that she was taking. They were not even for liver cancer, though. The drugs that she took were meant for pancreatic cancer, I think, because there really aren't any drugs for liver tumors that are that effective. My dad had cancer too. Like, I'm telling you, I don't want to sound like, oh my God, my life is so terrible. I'm so grateful for my life. We only have one life. One life. And I've been through my share of hardships. My dad, when he got cancer, he recovered. He was diagnosed in late 2017. And by mid 2018, he was cancer-free. So it can work. People actually can get cancer-free. So if somebody you know or yourself has recently been diagnosed, please look at all the resources I'm listing down below. Don't completely give up the traditional treatments. at least try them, but make sure you try them in parallel to the non-toxic treatments, because that worked really well for my mom for a number of years. It was a really difficult tumor. Like I said, she shouldn't have made it past 8 months, and she survived 7 years. Really good quality of life. So don't take it as a death sentence immediately. Keep a positive attitude. I think the other thing that kept my mom alive this long and in such good mood and everything and positivity was her good mood and her attitude, her positive attitude towards the disease that really kept her going. And when that positive attitude faded away and she gave up, that's when the disease took over her. But if you keep a positive attitude every day, if you think about it, you'll get well, or that your loved one will get well, especially if they want to get well. It could happen. Maybe they'll get cancer-free completely. Or if not, they could be able to live with it for a very long time. Like, that's one of the main things that I also learned through these years of research, is that you can actually live with it for a very long time. You can, if you keep it under control, if you keep the tumors under control, or the tumor, you can survive a very long time and live a very good quality of life. Okay. So again, thank you so much for being a part of my community. If you've been following me for some time, thank you from the bottom of my heart. If my content has touched you, helped you in any way, I feel like I'm fulfilling my mission. That's my mission. Helping you design your life, helping you build your business, helping you build your laptop lifestyle or whatever, helping you achieve more freedom. The freedom to help your family, to be with your family and friends. If it hadn't been for you know, my mom's cancer and the inspiration that I got from it, I think a lot of the successes that I've had in my life and my business career, mostly, maybe I wouldn't have achieved them because I wouldn't have had a strong reason why, and she was my why for a very long time, and she will continue to be. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video.